It's game number 1 of a best of 3 here. I'm Madals, and this is going to be sweet as. Super looking forward to it, because, hey, it's got one of my favourite players in it, and a Zerg player from Neurosoft who does something a little bit unorthodox in ZvZs, at least from what I saw in him against Dana. So let's introduce them. Spawning in the top right of Overgrowth, the purple Zerg. Representing Neurosoft, we have Roof. And his opponent, down to the lower left, the red Zerg player representing Team Liquid, Snute. Snute, definitely one of my favourite Zerg players. Probably the best foreigner at the moment as well. I'm sure someone will disagree with me on that, but you're welcome to. Your opinions, more than certainly something that you can stick with. So yeah, this is going to be interesting. Roof up against Dana showed some really interesting stuff actually. Some unusual timings on some very aggressive plays, kind of going for early pressure builds that didn't hit as early as normal, but they hit a lot harder. It's kind of like rolling a snowball going for aggression in ZvZ. You can either roll it a little way and let it hit you nice and quick, or you can just keep on rolling and rolling and rolling and rolling and rolling, and then you get this massive snow boulder, which you can just overrun your opponent with. So yeah, seems that Roof is on the snow boulder side of things. Not that I've ever had a snow boulder. What I really want to try is, I don't know if you have seen them, there's slingshots you can buy for water balloons and stuff, where you like put one in, you like sit on the floor, and then you put one on each side, each of your feet, with the slingshot in the middle, and you like pull it back, and it like fires things miles. I'd love to get like some snowballs with those, and you can get 3-person one as well, where you actually need like a person to hold each bit and 1 person to pull it back, and then it just like flies a mile, and it's cool. That could be a snow boulder launcher. I don't even know how we got there, or how I got there from starting off in Zerg versus Zerg pushes, but just roll with it. Just roll with it and it'll be fine. Gas coming down now from Roof. Meanwhile, Snoop, he's just chilling here. He's like, I got my pool up. His hatch is obviously coming out quicker. It's around 30 seconds quicker out, but his pool was later, so his queen is a little bit later, but he gets 2 out at the same time. It swings and roundabouts, it's back and forth, 6 of one, half a dozen of the other, and if you're not British, you may not get that expression. I don't know if it exists outside of the United Kingdom. For those of you who don't know what it means, half a dozen is 6, because a dozen is 12, like you get a dozen eggs. So 6 of one, half a dozen of the other is just the same thing. That's the point of it. I could have just explained something which everyone knows all over the world, but that's fine. I'd rather be too descriptive than not descriptive enough, and then people get confused. Anyway, a little bit of Zerg on Zerg warfare coming down here. Snute, really going good at the moment. He drew first blood. 2 Zerglings died at the hands, or the claws of his, and he's going to go scout now. We've seen a decent amount. Snute knows that there's a natural base. He's just chilling here. And yeah, everything going pretty damn cool. Evo Chamber coming down from Snute as well. This is actually quite cool. We'll be interested to see whether he gets carapace out of that. If he gets a Roach Run soon, it will be obviously a quick little run towards +1 missile attack if he gets the Roach Run. But carapace is cool because you can then actually just go a lot of speedlings, even if there's banelings there. Because the carapace means that it takes 2 baneling hits to kill Zerglings, which makes it a lot harder to cost effectively trade there. That exactly looks like what Snute does have planned. So this is all really, really cool. I'm excited to see how this works. Downside of this is, of course, +1 takes forever. It takes 3 minutes in game. 3. No, it doesn't. That's a lie. It takes like 2 minutes 40. So, still, am I getting that right? No, I'm not. 180. 2 minutes 50. That's the one I'm looking. No, 2 minutes 40. Why am I so confused? Yeah, 2 minutes 40. Anyway. A couple of banelings now morphing in, but Snute, he's already here. Pushing up the ramp, taking down a couple of lings, trying to fend off these banelings before they start popping, but they're getting ever so close. This is going to get exceptionally tense. Will he kill them all in time? Yes, he does. That is a massive win for Snute. No banelings morphing, he's still pushing through, kills off a queen, trading with these Zerglings very nice. He's got a very slightly larger surface area at the top of that ramp than Roof did. Snute continuing on the pressure, he's droning behind this. And that's going to mean that Snute gets himself a pretty substantial drone lead. The concern has to be the counterattack though. It's always got to be the concern. You know something's going to be coming back at you, and you've only got a set amount of time to try and hold it. Double Evo Chamber, Queen comes into position. This completes the wall off thanks to the Baneling Nest, and with a Spine Crawler on its way as well, should be all safe. Both Queens here poking away. The first one of the front taking a bit of damage, but it's buying time for Snute to morph them Banelings, and that's what he needs. They're going to be done just in the nick of time. Streaming through these Speedlings come. Should be able to take down the Queen. The roof has to back away. One Baneling detonation, not amazing. More coming through. This could be a lot of dead drones, and it is a lot of dead drones. Nice hits on both sides. Damage has been substantial. 9 workers killed, and now it's Roof, ahead by just 6 drones. Everything looking pretty tense this game. Snute, though, remember, he's got that +1 carapace now. That means his Lings can take 2 hits from a Baneling. All pretty crazy. Meanwhile, Roof just waiting back. Got double Evo Chambers, got the Queen and the Lings just chilling there, waiting. Upgrades, remember, are in Snoot's favour. Banelings waddling forward. Nice detonation there. The Queen should now go down. Another good pickup. That leaves Roof with only 1 Queen, hurting his inject cycles and preventing him getting out as many lava. Snute, though, can't do too much else with this, but does get the scout in the Spire. That's a money scout. Knowing that the Mutalisks are coming is critical. Behind this, Snute takes his 3rd hatch. Quite a long way ahead of that of his opponents, actually. Has been seen by Roof. He wandered on by, floated in with the Overlord there. But still, this is quite a sizable delay now. This is over a minute in-game. Every second that goes by, it gets more. It's going to be about 80 seconds, actually, by the time this comes down. 78, so bit of a pain, but if a cancer comes through, that's a pain as well. But no, nice Baneling detonations there. Saves the 3rd. What about this Spire, though? The Infestation Pit, a couple of Infestors could be good. Spawner Coolers will definitely be needed, because you've got to be able to stop those Mutas from just wrecking your base. No time in order to get down your own Mutas, nor is it something that Snute necessarily wants to go for. He's committed to a lot of ground-based strategy. Interestingly, seeing the +1 missile attack come through when we don't actually see a Roach Warren yet from the Liquid Zerg. Just a lot of Zerglings still. In we go now. Cancel force to that 3rd base, further adding to the delay that unfortunately Roof is feeling on that 3rd. This is giving Snute a lot of time to really ramp up his production and income, as long as he doesn't take too much damage from the Mutas. Applying pressure, wants to bait out these Banelings as best as he can, but critically cannot let them detonate. If those Banelings hit on the big group of those Lings, bad times will ensue. Little bank up here by Snute. His Zerglings clearly got lost. They want to come and see what's down that little hole. Certain death. I don't know. It might be. I imagine there's like a little alligator just chilling down there. Just gonna jump out. Still though, Muta count not that high. 2. 2 is really not that high, actually. That's really low. A pair of Mutalisks. I would say they were heading for Noah's Ark, but Mutalisks can, fly, so a flood wouldn't really cause them too many problems. Queens should be able to the Queens will easily be able to force back those Mutas. There's a lot of Queens as well, 7. Snute is adequately prepared for this. What Snute isn't adequately prepared for, though, is a lot of Roaches. He doesn't have a Roach one, still. Really just reliant on these Zerglings to do an awful lot. And they've got the +1 carapace upgrade, but no sign of any Roaches yet for Snute. Just getting some Infestors now. He's literally making everything but Roach tech. And this intrigues me. If I had a goatee beard, I would be stroking it. And being like, Snute, what are you planning? Luckily, though, he has got his Roach one down now. So he's going to be starting to make Roaches. Just doing it out of order. Some people are like, we go Roach into Infestor, but he's too hipster for that. He's like, no, I go Infestor into Roach. Screw your normal tier items or tier list of production. I do it my way. With the high Queen count as well, they're banking up energy, transfuses, prepared, ready to go, ready to rumble, and that always leads to some good stuff. Infestors, get a nice fungal. That is a beautiful fungal. Chains should come down, preventing the escape from these Roaches at the moment. More Infestors coming through, more fungal growths hitting. The Queen's hitting those transfuses repeatedly, keeping the Roaches alive, and with the Spine Crawler just chipping and poking and prodding away, a good amount of damage is being done. Snute trades pretty well actually. Loses slightly more resources than that of his opponent, but remember he's been throwing away quite a sizable number of Zerglings. So if we actually look at the resources lost in terms of overall gas, it's Roof who's throwing away a lot more gas than Snute. So that's actually quite a nice trade, especially when we factor in just how incredibly long Snute has been mining off of his third base, and actually Roof hasn't. The gases alone are doing a lot. The Infestor tech is huge. It's just astronomical how much that can swing a battle if controlled effectively. Still, relatively careful and coordinated play on both sides. Both players sitting in that 2-2, or 2-2 done for Snute, about 20 seconds until it's done for Roof, and there's no real way that Snute can force an engagement before that's finished. The pair of Mutalisks still alive, still working down, working through everything that's there. But not going to be able to kill anything off. Have these Mutalisks actually achieved anything this game? Yes, they've got one kill. I don't know what it's on, but this Mutalisk, he killed something. Also cool. Meanwhile, Hydra's coming through. No additional mutas have been made overall. Burrow tech has been researched though, although no sign of tunneling claws. Instead, just the money going into groove spines. Snute, he's adding in the hydrogen of his own while trying to secure up the gold base. But as is Roof. They're both going into their fourths at a very similar time and both trying to make something work. But it's going to be Roof who forces the cancel. That's really nice for him. Remember, he was delayed in getting his third base up, so he can get the advantage in the fourth. He levels out long term that economic discrepancy. Snute and Roof have left up the debris, blocking up these bases for the moment, but Snute is going to be cleaning this out. He's got good creep spread through here as well, joining up his bases, allowing quick reinforcements and just giving him more opportunity and more options when it comes to positioning in good defense. That's really kind of key overall. +1, speed upgrade coming through there, plus 2-2 has not been started, and that's because there's no hives on either side. +3-3 can't start until you've got hive tech, and even though the infestation pit is in position for Snute, he doesn't go up to hive yet, and that's kind of quite standard in ZvZ. You won't see hive until a lot later in the other matchups. Snute now moving forward, he's trying to find a little opportunity to engage. That'd be a bad engagement, there was a good concave for Roof, so wise play by Snute backing out, but now going for it. That's a great fungal growth he got there. Needs to keep hitting them though, wants to be trying to cover this army in those fungals. His Hydra's in the back getting some good damage out. Both sides are 2-2. The biggest difference comes in these Infestors. Snute up in supply by about 20 for the moment, but it's the army supply sending 40 up that's really good for him. He crushes this army, continues to go forward, and it's only 23 roaches resupplying for Roof at the moment. GG, well played, and Snute, with an overwhelming victory in the center there, takes game number 1 of this best of 3.